Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Naina and help me check something off my list. I wanted to go to this place for a very long time and today I'm finally gonna do it if I make it in time. So come along. I think it's gonna be fun. So today we are going to Park Street Cemetery and my dumbass forgot to check what time it closes. So it looks like we have 1 hour to go and explore it. Just hope I make it in time. Also, I'm so awkward filming in public like this. It's very awkward. I'm not getting any cab. I'm not getting any cab, guys. In August 1767, the president of the East India Company told the board that a new burial ground was ready. Things were so dire that the first burial took place on that very day. The person was a certain Mr. Wood, an East India Company writer or clerk. Now, smack in the middle of Kolkata, but walled off from the bustle and chaos outside, this 8-acre quiet and leafy heaven holds the mortal remains of 1,600 odd British men, women, and children. One of the largest of its kind in Asia, it is the final resting place of some notable personalities and boasts some dramatic and beautiful tombs, canotaphs, and mausoleums. Now, I will be referring a lot from Mr. Debanjan Ghosh's article. Mr. Debanjan Ghosh runs an exhaustive blog on forgotten chapters of the city's history. So, the burial ground, also called the Great Cemetery, is no longer in use, and although a marble plaque on the gate says it was closed in 1790, the tombstone suggests that it was used right up till 1840. Strolling along its paths and reading the inscriptions on the graves reveals a lot about what the city was like in the 18th century. Burials back then would take place at night. The coffin would be carried on shoulders of the deceased person's friends. No hearses had been introduced in the city and torches would be lit to keep the tigers at bay. The new burial ground in the 18th century was located in the middle of fields, and to reach it, a new road had to be built. This road came to be known as Burial Ground Road, today one of Kolkata's most happening streets, Park Street. Clearly, the South Park Cemetery, as the burial ground came to be called, was absolutely vital to the Europeans in Calcutta. Poor sanitation, a poor understanding of tropical diseases, and only rudimentary medicine had made death so distressingly common that the existing cemetery could no longer hold the dead. The Europeans were then using Calcutta's first burial ground, located where St. John's Church on Council House Street stands today. concerned that the sight of funeral processions winding their way through the town several times a week might erode their residents' morale, and that opening a new cemetery in the town could be a health hazard. The Board of Governors of East India Company decided on a site that was far from human habitation. I mean, today it's really hard to imagine Park Street being far from human habitation because, again, it's the most happening part of the city. Now, if you're afraid of ghosts, I have something to tell you. Why be afraid of ghosts when God has created human beings? Three men who came out of nowhere just randomly started following me. You can hear their voices creeping up behind me. I took a turn and waited for them to pass, and you can see how the last one over there gave me a look before disappearing. I mean, I'm not afraid anymore and I know I can handle this, but 5 years ago, I would be super scared. And that's the worst part. Younger girls are so much more prone to such bullshit because these men know that they will be extremely scared and uncomfortable. Thankfully, I didn't run into them during the rest of my stay there. Catherine Bletchenden writes in her book called Calcutta Past and Present, published in 1905, that there were an average 200 burials a year. She suggests that enormous amounts of masonry were piled on graves, creating gigantic memorials to even the humblest of people to contain the disease that so often led to fatalities. Rude Boreas winds and Neptune's waves have tossed me to and fro. By God's decree, you plainly see I am harbored here below. Now, this tombstone of Captain Robert Beer took me down a rabbit hole. Well, not literally, but in this place, anything is possible. I was very interested to know what was inscribed, so I googled whatever words I could read and I found nothing. After searching some more, it took me to a PDF file of Lippincott's magazine, which was a popular magazine in the 17th to 18th century. Literally a story in every corner. Shobhik Mukherjee, Assistant Professor of English, Presidency University, points out most Europeans who would land in the muggy, mosquito-ridden city would last only 2 monsoons. They would almost always fall prey to malaria. He says, "You will find graves of many children here." And he is right. While the stories of the men are told and retold, it is easy to forget the many women buried in South Park Cemetery. A study of the tombstones reveals that a very large number of women died very young from complications during childbirth. There is a large number of children buried along with their mothers as well. According to Susan Hoskins' book, The Great Burial Ground at Choringi, this is one of the oldest non-church cemeteries in the world. Two and a half centuries later, in 2021, here I am, standing in a time capsule, completely in awe of everything. The partly cloudy day is just adding to the mystery of it. Among the most well-known women buried here is Rose Almer, 1779 to 1800. I want to apologize to you guys in advance. I do not have a footage of her grave as I did not do any research before going there, and it's only after that I have visited. I am reading up about all these famous personalities buried. So, yeah, sorry for that. But listen to the story anyway. Rose was in love with this English poet, Walter Savage Landor. However, her family did not approve of the match and sent her away to her aunt in Calcutta. She died at the very young age of 20 due to a most severe bowel complaint brought on entirely by indulging too much with that mischievous and dangerous fruit, the pineapple. Rose's death may have been caused by cholera, and it was believed at that time that fruits such as watermelons and pineapples were one of the ways in which people contracted the disease. Many towns banned the sale of fruit during cholera outbreak. Another notable woman who is buried here is Elizabeth Jane. Again, sorry, I do not have a footage of a tombstone, but listen to the story. The celebrated Miss Sanderson, Elizabeth Jane, was the daughter of Colonel Sanderson, was thought of being the most beautiful girl in all of Calcutta in 18th century. She was quite aware of her status and was rather a playful and mischievous young girl. On the occasion of a ball, she received multiple requests from eligible young men to be their date for the evening. She told each of them separately that they would look wonderful if they wore a pea green suit with purple lace trimmings. As a result, a dozen or so young men turned up at the ball wearing the exact same ridiculous outfit. But they were sporting about it and lined the streets and serenaded her as she went home that night. Elizabeth married Richard Barwell, a friend of Warren Hastings, and died at the tender age of 23 in 1778. There are quite a few military burials in South Park Street Cemetery. Several tombs are marked with an anchor and a chain indicating that the deceased served in the Navy. I was just about to fall. I was just about to fall really bad. Feel a sense of such calmness over here. I mean, it's so calm. It's so peaceful. Everyone is fucking taking selfies, and you know what? I'm human too. You know what? It's starting to rain. It's gonna start raining very soon, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very heavy downpour every time I decide to step out. Actually, that's how the city is, so it's okay. We have to leave soon, sadly. Wanna do some mushrooms, guys? Okay, it's sunny again, so probably it's not going to rain very soon.
getting all celebrity surnames.
When it comes to architecture, the tomb that stands out here is that of Major General Charles Hindoo Stuart, 1758 to 1828. An eccentric Irishman, Stuart's rather unusual life and philosophy finds mention in William Dalrymple's White Mughals. As soon as he arrived in Calcutta in the 1780s, he was attracted to Hinduism. Within a year, he had started rising at the crack of dawn to bathe in the Ganges and greeted all Hindus he met with an enthusiastic Jai Sitaramji. On at least one occasion, he had taken a leave of absence to bathe in the Kumbh Mela. Stuart had also written a number of articles urging European women in Calcutta to adopt the sari, without which he said they had no chance of competing against the beauty of Indian women. Stuart's collection of deities and idols from the Indian subcontinent forms a major part of the British Museum's ancient Hindu and Buddhist sculpture even today. Humble tomb of the poet and educator Henry Louis Vivian de Rosio, 1809 to 1831. Although his poetry had been published in the India Gazette while he was still quite young, de Rosio's rise to fame began with his appointment as a teacher of history and English at Hindu College. His religious skepticism and his leaning towards free thinking, both new at the time, deeply impressed his students. Although Eurasian by descent, de Rosio considered himself Indian, and his thoughts and activities led to the founding of the Young Bengal movement, which sought social change. South Park Street was closed in the 1840s, although a couple of burials took place even after that. In many ways, the cemetery is a time capsule. History books capture the bigger picture, but here the epitaphs reveal interesting nuances, some somber, some mischievous, of the people buried here. These obelisks and plaques that bear these epitaphs are a reminder of the early days of Calcutta, which was then known all over the world as the City of Palaces. It started raining, guys. I was right. But I'm close to the exit, so.
मैं बनाता था पहले ये दुबई में।
ओह, क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
मैं 10 साल दुबई में काम किया, तो वहाँ मैं ये सब चीज़ बनाता था।
फिर तो आपको बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है।
यहाँ तो मैंने कलकत्ता में सबसे चीप एंड रेट न ले सकते, जब ये किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं करते।
अच्छा,
मैं यही सेम क्वालिटी देता था दुबई में।
सीक्रेट रेसिपी है ये? कुछ तो बोलिए, क्या स्पेशल है?
मैं इसका मसाला हम किसी को नहीं बताता, अपने घर में नहीं बताता।
हम खा के गेस करने की कोशिश करेंगे, अगर सही हुआ तो फिर बताना पड़ेगा।
सही होगा तो